Welcome into Sports Memo's Betting Podcast, NHL edition. Look ahead towards the Tuesday card with Andrew McGinnis. McGinnis, welcome into the pod. How are you?
Drew, doing pretty good. Another week of NHL action ready to go, and it's been a pretty good season so far. Looking ahead to Tuesday's card, man. Tuesday brings some good betting opportunities, so looking forward to talking about 3 games here today. I'm looking to possibly make wagers on here for tomorrow.
Sure, try to get ahead of some of these moves. We got 7:30 Eastern puck drop here. Montreal at Detroit. Looks like 5.5 being the total here, minus 185. That's what we're seeing right now is the Montreal Canadiens road favorites in Detroit.
Yeah, Drew, it feels like I've talked about Montreal with you ad nauseum, and maybe part of it is because I'm a huge fan of the team, I follow them quite closely. I seem to know quite a bit of their trends and how they've been doing, but this is a team, once again, we're seeing a 5.5 goal total with them. I feel like on this podcast before with you, we've cashed an over with them. We're going to go right back into that trend here with the over 5.5 here. They've got a goaltender in Carey Price, one of the best goaltenders in the world. But this is a team that's been letting them down defensively every single week. And we've got a Detroit Red Wings team coming in here, Drew. And this is a team that might not reach 20 wins. And that is that is very rare. In the NHL. This is a team 14, 43, and 4 on the season. That is a sad, pathetic record right there, Drew, except for the fact is that, Montreal hasn't really fared too well against them. They lost the last time they played Detroit. Actually, the last 2 times they played Detroit. So the fact is that obviously Detroit's not playing too well, but Montreal not too much better. I mean, just slightly above 500. They've got a couple wins in a shootout. But other than that, they haven't been too good either. And there's certain teams that Detroit has found the back of the net against, and Montreal is definitely one of them. So at this 5.5 goal total, we're going over 5.5 here. We've seen Montreal allow 4 goals against Dallas, 4 goals against Pittsburgh, 4 goals against Boston. Their last 3 games, they've allowed 4 goals. Meanwhile, Detroit's allowing goals ad nauseum as well. And I feel like when these two teams, I'd say pretty bad teams right now, Drew, come together, we'll see some goals here in this one. So I'm going to go over 5.5 for our first game.
And you bring up the Red Wings, man. I mean, a putrid start here. But, in terms of talking from a sports betting perspective in the NHL, is this a team where you think they're being priced correctly? Because, I mean, minus 185 for a Montreal team on the road that, like you said, lost to them last time out. Is it pricey enough? Is it too pricey? Do you actually think it could be a buy low opportunity on the Red Wings, or no way?
I could definitely see that. I'll tell you what, I'm not touching Montreal Canadiens here, but I do fully believe that there's a factor in the fact that Montreal has lost 2 straight to Detroit. Right now, it's all about pride with this Canadiens team. I'm reading articles every day, Drew, about are they in the playoff hunt? Are they going to make a push for the playoffs? I feel like hockey, more than any other sport, they start talking about the playoffs really, really early on. Post All-Star break, pretty much, they're talking about playoff positioning. They just had 4 straight losses that have completely gutted them. Arizona, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. That's the problem when you have a tough schedule post All-Star break. They had to win at least 3/4 of those games, and obviously they didn't come out on top. So yeah, it's a great question. And if you were asking me what my thoughts were, if you were making a money line wager on this game, I definitely wouldn't tell you, Drew, to head over to the South Point and put minus 180 down there on Montreal. That's for sure.
Okay, so maybe the underdog or pass in that one. We got another 7:30 Eastern puck drop, 57-58, the rotation numbers here. Buffalo at Ottawa. We're seeing Ottawa, the home dog here, just slight home dog, minus 115 to minus 117. That's Buffalo on the road. Total of 6 in this one, McGinnis.
Yeah, I'm sorry for any Ottawa fans out there for what they've been going through with their team. And, this fan base has definitely seen some better days as well. This is a Buffalo team that just beat Toronto 5-2. They beat Columbus 4-3. They handled Detroit relatively easily. And I think the books are taking that win pretty lightly that the Buffalo Sabres had over Toronto. I mean, it wasn't just a squeaker of a win. They dominated the Toronto Maple Leafs team that's actually pretty known for scoring in bunches. And that defensive performance means a lot to me because one thing Ottawa has done this year that we can at least take a little bit of pride in is score some goals. This is a team that as much as they have bad defense, they're at least to be able to score some goals, but not anymore. They've completely slowed down. We've seen them score one, maybe two goals on average over their past 20 games. And this is a very generous price to me, Drew, on the Buffalo Sabres here. So we're looking overnight. I'll give out the Buffalo Sabres here on the road against the Ottawa Senators in a very non-intimidating arena. I would not be nervous to head into Ottawa to play this game, like how some arenas are some teams play much better at home. I'm not too worried about that for the Ottawa Senators here. The fact that Buffalo's coming off, 3 straight wins, more importantly, a big win over Toronto. I think they keep rolling here and take down the Senators.
He's Andrew McGinnis. Find him on sportsmemo.com. We got $9 Monday, $2 Tuesday as well. We're breaking down the Tuesday card here for the NHL. Early look ahead. And we got McGinnis, who has been pretty good in the NHL. Pretty good, probably putting it lightly. 31% return on investment since the start of the NHL season. No cherry picking numbers there. He's also hot in 5% plays. Those are the top rated plays allowed at sportsmemo.com, hitting 80%. That's 8-2 on those 5% plays year to date. So guys, check out his NHL rest of the season, $695 right now on sportsmemo.com with the podcast coupon code available for the next 48 hours. NHL 300 takes $300 off, just about half off there. NHL rest of the season with McGinnis all the way throughout the Stanley Cup for $300 off. NHL 300 at checkout for rest of NHL season with Andrew McGinnis. We got last game up here, McGinnis. Carolina at Nashville. Game number 5960 if you're following along at home. 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop. 6 being the total. Minus 130. That's the Predators in the Music City.
Yeah, Drew. I mean, you know how in some sports, especially sports like hockey, I think, where one player, especially a defensive player going down, could mean, a huge deal for a certain team. And that is what's happened here with the Carolina Hurricanes losing their defenseman. His name's Dougie Hamilton. Ever since they've lost him, Drew, it's been a defensive collapse for, we saw 4 goals allowed against Edmonton, 4 goals allowed against Dallas, 5 goals allowed against Vegas. This is a team that's getting scored on left and right now, and missing one of your best defenders is definitely, one of the main reasons why this is happening. And although this is, a minus 120 to 130 price here for Nashville, I'd recommend getting on this number as fast as you can, because I think this will go up to minus 140, 145, even 150 maybe. This is a Carolina team that's trending downwards, a Nashville team that's kind of gotten it together.